welcome back to another video. Y'all's favorite video, Monday update videos. And if y'all can hear my voice, I am worn the hell out. I had big festival this weekend here where I work at, big parish wide. You know, we have parishes. I know I tell y'all that a lot, but there's always somebody new watching. We have parishes down here in Louisiana, not counties. So basically you can figure it's a county-wide fair, but people came from everywhere from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. And it was a bit wild. I got a couple of little quick videos for you real quick. Pictures to show you what we were dealing with. For those of y'all who might be a little older, like me, if y'all remember 1999 and 2000, the rapper Juvenile, he was the main entertainment on Sunday, and we had record plus crowds, biggest crowds I've ever seen in all the years I worked it, and I've been in charge of it. But hey, we got out, you know, we got through it without a single, you know, any kind of event or anything like that. So no incidents or anything like that. So public safety wise, we did our job and we got out of there. So it was a bit much. So everybody at work today could hear how hoarse I am, losing my voice and all that. It was very dry, dust and everything, all in my sinuses. And I'm gonna try to get through this video, so you know it ain't gonna be that long of a video because I can't talk and it's all in my sinuses and I'm dying right now. So, but let's get to it. The usual spiel before we get started. Please do me a favor, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing or what I'm doing here. And the way crypto is looking right now, I'm gonna be working a lot more overtime in my future because nothing in these projects or me buying crypto is going to help me out anytime in the future with my finances, the way this is going. This is bad. So first of all, for those who caught it last week I did a video on Beamable, their new checker node that you can get from Helium Deploy. And that was supposed to release today. As you can see back when I did this 4 days ago, it said it had 4 days left. That should have been today. Well, without notice or anything else, just now when I went checked Helium Deploy, now today it says it's 6 days away again. So apparently this is now releasing next Monday. So for any of those who, because I've had you know, maybe 2 or 3 people text me, Discord, hey, I thought Beamable was going for sale. I'm looking for this node, and then when I went check, nope, they didn't tell us anything. So next Monday, if y'all are interested in getting the Beamable checker node, again, also, just so I can plug it and piss certain people off, here's my code if you want to save 10%. And if you don't want to save 10% because you don't want to use YouTuber codes, then go pay full price for it. So that's that. Like I said, everything, I don't really need to go and hash crypto out, what's going on with crypto. It's very bad timing for me. I've had just some different things going on. Y'all know my usual sad stories. It seems like every week I do this, I have some sad story what's going on in my life, but welcome to my life. When the kids always need something, some bill pops up we weren't planning on, or just something going on that we forgot about. Luckily, I'm gonna tell you, my DPIN projects are still pumping out there, even the ones that don't pay worth a crap. I still have them paying out, and still running. It's still, while it does hurt to have to take a little bit of profits, I call it profit because some of these projects you didn't pay even to get into, or some of this you made money off of staking or just holding a token. But today I had to go to pharmacy, pick up some medicine for somebody in my family. It was a little expensive. Payday's not till Friday, so what do? Go on my crypto app, sell the crypto to USDC, top it off on my crypto.com card, and then I buy the prescription. Hell, yes, it hurts. I'm not stupid. I'm selling crypto at a very bad dip in price. But that's life. Like, sometimes you just have to make the decision. Maybe, you know, some of y'all might not have kids. You don't understand that. But when they need medicine and it costs a little bit of money, Again, payday ain't till Friday. You do what you got to do. You know, I don't really want to go into my emergency stash for stuff like that and have to move money in my checking accounts. It's easier for me just to go to crypto.com, sell whatever I need, then top off the crypto.com app card. But, you know, like I said before, and I've said it again, I sell a token when I wish. That's my prerogative. And like I said, it hurts. Trust me, I'm not stupid. It hurts because some of these token prices, especially like crypto chronos and stuff, that was at 40, almost 50 cents a couple of weeks ago, and now it's at 16 cents. I'm not stupid, guys and gals, but hey, you do what you got to do. You know, while I tell y'all all the time that I don't know what the hell I'm doing with TA and Bitcoin pricing and charts and stuff like that. If y'all remember last week, I drew the line out, the magic grumpy line, as you can see right here. And last week it was the 13th, but I said, you know, we bounced off these lines and came back up. On my live, we talked about how we bounced off this again. But I said, you are starting kind of this downward trend, and that's scary. And I said, what's going to happen when if it keeps going down this way, when it hits this line? And I said, if it drops hard below this, it's going to drop hard. And ladies and gentlemen, it dropped hard. You had Bitcoin that was at 110 and it hit. And then over the weekend, again, it took a serious hit. I was wondering if Trump mentioned tariffs again, but he didn't. Now we slowly, you can almost say it's, you know, I don't know if I want to call it a reset, but hey, it hit this bottom 103,000 and it's slowly been moving up again. Now you got whatever the hell this is going to be going up. This is the 1 hour chart. 4 hour chart. You can, like I said, you know, and I know a lot of y'all are into DePIN. Y'all not really into crypto, and y'all don't really care if I go through this or not, but it still affects pricing. Let's all be honest. Everything's still attached to Bitcoin to a point. Bitcoin starts crashing down, everything's coming down with it. Like an anchor that's pulling everything down, gravity pulling everything down. If Bitcoin's doing very, very well right now, until it decouples or something, it's all going to get pushed up all at the same time. So that's why I kind of go over it. And while we were on my live, we discussed, again, this is financial advice. I don't have the money for it right now. I just told y'all. However, Friday, I worked all weekend, 30 plus hours of overtime. I have a very nice check coming Friday. I know some of y'all don't want to hear this, and some of y'all might think I'm an a-hole. I hope these prices stay down like this. I hope they go down some more. 'Cause I can tell you, I told y'all, I DCA every payday into VET, and I didn't sell no VET. VET at, you know, a penny 7, whatever this is, down here when it was 1.015, I told everybody, y'all need to jump on this. But not financial advice. I'm just telling you, like, you know, if y'all are just wonder what I was doing, there you go. But you had VET, and we know VET is all over the place. During my live, we went through like somebody said, what kind of projects is VET in? We named all kinds of stuff. Google it. VeChain. What projects is VeChain in? And it's got all kinds of stuff. Try not to make this video too long. But again, VeChain was over 25 or 26, 27 cents. You're looking at a 10x if it just gets to 20 cents. If that's, like I said, and that's not even all-time high. If we have an alt season, if this thing goes back, but this ain't the only one. Cardano back down to 65 cents when this was well over $3 in the last bull run. AVAX is at $20. It wasn't that long ago. It was at 60. That's a 3x. You go way further back, 2022, 2021, you were at 100. That's a 5x. And all-time high, that's a 7. You know, and we know they got projects building on Avalanche. We hear a lot about it. You got WIF. You know, if you want some meme coin action, Solana, 54 cents right now. And, you know, a while back, we were at 35 cents, and I told y'all, you know, I jumped on it. And it came up. It came up to $1.40 or something like that. Back down 53. That don't look too bad. And here you go, the one with the most controversy right now. If I see another TikTok video on how this is going to be $100 by November, I'm going to lose it. And I'm going to get banned from every social media they got. We have to play smart. You have to remember that there are a lot of people involved in this XRP army, and that does have something to do with it. Not really if people are using it like they say they are, but what's the community consensus on this? And I will say, when you can see XRP down at 220, I have to say that is a good buying opportunity. You were just over $3 in October, October 4th. You were at 315 September. You were at 335. You were at 365 not that long ago. So if this happens to go to $4 or $5 in the next bull run, like some people are thinking, I really don't listen. I'm not saying it's going to $10 or $100 like some of these people, but if you just want to get in on that action because you think XRP might do something, 240 is a pretty decent entry price. You know, I'm in at 70, 80, 90 cents. I'm not going to buy anymore. Just doesn't make sense for me to. Even though I do wish I had a little bit more bag of XRP, but I'm just not buying it. This is if I really had the extra money, this is a decent place where I could consider entering. I mean, I wouldn't get in at 3 or anything like that. But, you know, if you want to get in a little bit on this action of XRP, just because there's so many people talking about it, I don't think 248 is that bad. Especially when it's down here, especially if when they had this big flash sale, that was just last Friday. That's not too bad. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget I do have a Discord. There should be a link in the description below where we're talking about all these projects. It's been very active, even with some of these prices down. You know, you got people discussing what's going on with some of these different projects and stuff. So, like I said, I'm sorry. I am completely under the weather for those who are clicking around the chapters and stuff. After that long weekend I've had, my sinuses are killing me. I'm sure y'all can hear it. But still firm with our project, still firm in that #1 spot. I think it's like the 18th week in a row. Yes, they've had a little bit of a price decrease along with everybody else, but you still have Chirp. Now, again, this is from the Blackbird miner. And again, I'm going to save it because I've talked about it enough times on previous videos I've did about Chirp and the Monday videos, but it's hard to talk about this project because they're so limiting on Blackbirds, which I don't understand because they're an IoT project. They're trying to get a worldwide network. You need devices out there, but they're trying to prevent that for some reason. Again, I'm not going to get that deep into this. So I'm not really going to talk too much about the KAGE project because it's all over the place. I think they got some questionable things going on with it. I've discussed it also in previous videos and stuff. But if you look at the Chirp token, Chirp token is at 4.5 cents right now, which a week ago it was at 4.7. So it's only down 4%, which is not bad at all. It's even only down 14% for the month. So congratulations to the Chirp project for kind of holding on to something. You know, it did come up in the beginning of October. It was at 6.5 cents and down to 4. But compared to what some other projects are doing right now that we're going to go over, this is pretty damn good. So I will give credit where credit is due. I know I must not be feeling well, but congratulations to Chirp for holding this together right now. So a couple of announcements from Chirp. You do have where there's a new leaderboard system. So people, like I have a premium pass. So my rankings are much lower now because there's not as many people in premium pass. I don't know why I'm holding premium pass. Because if it's only for Chirp KAGE, I've got a couple of beacons when I'm in Baton Rouge, New Orleans. I don't see any beacons except the one that's in the swamp. I'm hoping that gets refreshed or changed at some point. I am going on a trip at the end of October around Halloween. All the way to Missouri, and I will be kind of watching along the way so I'm not gonna get too detoured. But if I do see a Chirp beacon somewhere when I get off at exit, I might try to catch it. Who knows? Free players also get a clear view of premium users removed, so you can check that out. Basically, check your rankings. You can check the current rounds rewards tiers here. Again, it's all about Chirp KAGE. At some point, they're supposed to be working on an IoT project, right? Um, I just don't like talking this much about this. I look, especially in the I don't feel well, so it's going to be even worse in this video than usual. But the amount of cheating that's still going on in this project, it may be, I had somebody tell me maybe the cheating's not as bad because it seems like there's more people because of the amount of beacons that are out there now. You're seeing some of those names where the normal cheaters who are somehow getting literally 3 to 4 million points a day by driving around in circles. I don't know how that was possible. So maybe, whatever. Chat platform keeps evolving. This is one of the latest upgrades. Now you can request support for any LoRaWAN device directly inside the dashboard. We'll handle the decoding. This is where I start getting confused at, is because they're pushing LoRaWAN devices. But again, when you don't have that many devices around the world, then what are they working off of? So this is from their website. By installing a Chirp gateway, you're providing network coverage that will unleash the future. Let's take a look at that. This is currently the coverage map. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know how many IoT projects you're going to hit with this kind of coverage. I mean, this is what you're looking at. Kansas doesn't have a single one. Missouri doesn't have a single one. Dallas, Houston has a couple. San Antonio don't have none. This is my point I'm trying to get. So if I have a LoRaWAN device, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, I'm sorry, well, Gainesville has one. Tennessee doesn't have one. What are you doing then? This is why I question, supposed to be an IoT project, but yet you're limiting the amount of blackbirds that are being released because you don't want to cause saturation. You don't want to cause saturation, but yet you got somebody here in Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, that has 3 devices. I don't know. Like I said, I had a lot of faith in the Chirp project up front. I just started to question a couple of different things with it. But you can't question that the fact that you're making 326 per day right now with this device, 72 tokens a day. I can't complain about that part at all. So, all right, moving on. It's going to be GEODNET. So GEODNET still making about 12 per day. We're at 13 cents right now, which is a little bit down from where we were last week at this time. Down 12.5%. So we were at 14 cents. We actually went up to 15 cents last was Tuesday. And then we came down hard on the 17th, which was Friday, and we've slowly recovered. Now we're going down again. GeoNet's a solid project. It's probably of all the projects up here that are on mainnet, it's my least one that I'm worried about the most. But I do have that Grumpy saying. Grumpy's rule number 8: project can be a great success, but rewards suck for miners. And mining can be profitable, but a project sucks. And I probably should just leave this up because this is pertaining. There's a rule here pertaining to a lot of these projects. GeoDNet right now making, $1.58 a day. 12 Geo per day. You are 8 months out, 7.5 months out from the next halving already. All right, moving right along. Next is going to be ROVR. You can see that I did change some rankings up on that. All right, ROVR is at about 1 cent. It's down 15.5%, which sounds a lot, but I mean, it was at 12 cents. Again, just like GeoDNet, it kind of had a little surge up 14 cents. That's what hurts. I mean, it was up to 14 cents, 15 cents, and back down to 10 cents. So I do have to still give, I'm sorry, not 15 cents, a penny and a half. I'm sorry. Again, I don't feel well. What I will give it to ROVR is consistently, even though it's barely hanging on right now. When you go back and look, this is the month. I'm sorry. Last 7 days, it's down. For the last 7 days, ROVR is barely down 5%, which is still at the penny. And I do have to give it to them. Even you go back and you look like for the last month, either they're putting in some liquidity and doing this the right way to kind of hold up their price and putting their liquidity in when it needs it. And I wish a lot of other projects would follow this, but it's always been at this kind of 1 cent price. And I think that's good. So I don't know if they're putting liquidity into it. You just don't have people selling. There's not a lot of places maybe to sell, but I don't care. The fact that they can hold on to this is pretty good. There are no announcements at all from ROVR right now. So, hey, I don't know how this does at nighttime, but I do have my trip coming up. Like I said, I will have another video before then when I leave, but I'm gonna have a long trip from Louisiana, Missouri, running ROVR and all my dash cam projects. I'm gonna look like a fool going down interstate with 4 or 5 phones on my dashboard and stuff, but it is what it is. But that's ROVR for right now for this week. Next is going to be Entropy, number 4. I'm trying to kind of figure this out, but there's places online where Entropy is showing that they're paying like 69 cents, 68 cents. When I do the math, and that you can actually go on my Discord and you can see where they are in the Entropy channel, and you can see where they're copying, pasting what their mean average is or whatever it's called. But anyway, what I'm doing is I claim every 7 days. I claim every Monday, no matter what. It's habit now. I'm not burning no more tokens. I need to make what I can make off this project because you're making 74 cents a day. But, I'm getting 100-something thousand tokens or whatever it is. I'm dividing that. First of all, I'm claiming it because there is a tithe tax, which I don't agree with anymore. Hey, it was cool when it was in the beginning of this project. A tithe, for those of y'all who aren't religious and don't know what a tithe is basically it's a percentage of your what you pay or rewards or whatever. And they were charging, don't quote me on it, 10-12% of your rewards, revenue, whatever you want to call it, that would go towards this special kitty box or whatever you want to call it, that would be used to help support other projects, meaning, they might do like an Entropy drop into some other Solana projects to get people's attention to come to Entropy. And that's kind of, we had the same thing. We'd have an Entropy wallet, and all of a sudden you would get pudgy penguins and different things like that. I think that has ran its course, and I think what the rewards are right now, I understand their argument. Their argument is, okay, if we get rid of that tax, is it really helping y'all out that much? Yes. No, you're right. It really ain't making us rich. But you know what? With the amount of people running Entropy right now, that tithe tax has to be getting up there a little bit. And I think it's time to give it back. Or just not give it back, but just stop it. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I haven't seen nobody else complain about it. But my point I'm getting at is you might see that for 7 days, you have 125,000 tokens after 7 days. But when you hit claim to your wallet, you're only getting about 117, 118,000. I take that amount because that's what's actually hitting your wallet. Then I divide that by 7, which gives me each day. So each day I'm getting this 17,000 tokens. Then you figure out what the price is. And then this is Deck Screener. Deck Screener has its own calculator. So you put how many tokens you're talking about, and it automatically tells you what those tokens were. So we're getting about 73 cents right now. Prices come down a little bit since I did my calculations. But that's how I'm figuring out that 72 or 73 cents. I'm not covering for nobody. I'm not making up numbers. I understand what the website says, but that's just what I'm getting with a regular one whale NFT, which is 1.33 percentage rewards, or whatever you want to call it. And looking at the dashboard and the Discord, there's no real news going on right now. You can keep an eye on the announcements and stuff like that, but nothing really big since the last week going on. Moving on to number 5 is going to be Onocoy. So with Onocoy, you had 2.8 cents right now, making 69 cents a day. You did have on the end of the 13th to the 14th a pretty good purchase, and it's kind of stayed. It's come down a little bit, but it really has kind of stayed sideways. It brought up to about 3 cents, and now it's at 0.27. So only 19 transactions, for a project this size that a lot of people are into. They piggybacking off the GeoDNet. I would think there'd be a lot more than this, but every place I look has this correct price, so it's not like I'm looking at the wrong Onocoy. I'm quite surprised. 18 sells and 1 buy. Just a little surprised by that. But there are no announcements at all with Onocoy. Nothing in the Discord since the early beginning of October. So, unless it's tucked away somewhere else. But when you look up announcements, there's nothing there. Moving on. Junk coin. Junk coin had some serious negative action in the last, more than anybody else. It's dropped. It has dropped. Can't count. In the 13th, it was at 0.0031 down to 2.3. But when you kind of zoom out and you go back since like September, they bleeding. You're still making close to, right now, even as of right now, up to date, up to minute pricing, you're at 64 cents a day. Looking at Discord, everybody's just friendly, telling everybody good morning. That's about all that's going on with that. I'm gonna claim my tokens because I'm not playing with the whole thing anymore. I keep saying I'm gonna sell my NFTs. I'm just too lazy. Too busy. I just haven't got around to it. I was gifted because somebody asked me about this in the Discord. I was gifted some of these by the team. Of course, I'm not that kind of dickhead. I'm not going to sell them. I'm only going to sell the ones that I purchased. But I am going to sell because I got 25% boost. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, these 3 right here are ones I was gifted, and then these right here are the ones that I purchased. Because I know I purchased 5 of them, and you can see some of them really worth all that. And we got some of the same names that are in here. I guess they're making some tokens, and even Rumbly Zeus is low, but Glock Cocked is in here. Rumbly Zeus is, there's 2 Rumbly Zeuses, a Rumbly Zeus here and a Rumbly Zeus here, 1 and 2. Hey, they're supporting the project, and I'll say it again, just because I'll give them props on what I give them props on. Is all these tokens 12 million, 0.4, 11.4 million, 10.5 million, 10.1 million. All these are getting burned at the end of the week, so they're still burning a good amount of tokens. So I will give them that, but I need to go ahead and claim my tokens right now, and get my stuff claimed. And then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with them at the future, because when you sell, you're done with the project, unless you're gonna buy them back, which makes no sense, or burn them, which makes no sense. So we'll sit back and see what happens, and I'm not gonna sell 46 million tokens. I'm not that kind of douchebag. I'm not gonna wreck the project or anything like that. But basically, as soon as you just try to start taking some type of profit, like I keep talking about doing profits at the end of the year with a lot of my projects, as soon as I start sipping any kind of profits from this project, I'm done. Because this project with junk, as soon as you sip any kind of profit, as soon as you sell any tokens, you can't claim anymore. That what I just did, where I claimed, is over with. Hey, that's their project. They voted on that, and then they voted that you could do a 4, or you could do a 4x burn. So basically, if I sold 1 million tokens, I could go burn 4 million, and I could keep No. But hey, that's their project. Let them roll with it. All right, moving on. Next is going to be Silencio. Nothing on Silencio. I don't know why I'm still covering the project. I know there's a good amount of y'all still in this project. That's the only reason I cover it. So don't say I don't care about y'all. Seems like we talked about this last week, but with the date we couldn't have. But Silencio, they're live in Malaysia. it just seems like Silencio has completely pivoted away from um, what they were born to be. But anyway, so for anybody who Silencio expands voice AI campaigns, we're rolling out campaigns 3, 4, and 5, and 6 for more nationalities. Now available U.S. American English, Ugandan English, Kenyan English, South African English. Sooner or later, they want Cajun, Creole English, and I can sign up for that one. So you can go ahead and do that if you want. On-chain staking is live. I thought we already had on-chain staking. Maybe this is something I don't know about, but y'all knock yourselves out. And this is one for Mandarin speaking, Mandarin accented English. There you go. For those who want to, but it just, I just feel like this project, like at some point, weren't they about noise pollution? We just completely pivoted away from that. Hey man, if that's what it takes to get their project to be successful, I wish them the best. I won't be a part of it, but that's, again, I have a lot of tokens. I have 1,000,000+ tokens that are being staked right now, and I don't know what I have. And with this price continuously going to the crapper, that's my tokens at. It's stuck in staking. I can only hope that this price does something. For the last 7 days, you went down hardly anything. 8% is not nothing when you're looking at this price 00026 to 0024. You're down 45% in a month, 78% in a year. Y'all know me. I don't want to rehash it and open up old wounds and scabs, but I'm not playing with, for this kind of pricing, I am not playing with this game of this project. Y'all can continue doing it. Y'all can continue telling me how I'm missing out and all this stuff like that, and how AI was supposed to change everything. Again, you're down 44% in a month. Don't tell me what AI is supposed to be doing for this project. Good luck to y'all. Again, I'm not going to sell all at one time. Not that I think I'm some kind of whale that's going to do anything, but it's just good luck to y'all. I've told y'all this before. I said I wasn't getting one of these rants, but soapboxes. But listen, despite how moody I get about certain projects that have pissed me off in the past, i.e. Silencio, I want everybody to be successful. I don't want you following this channel and being unsuccessful. Why would you come here? So I want everybody to be successful. But I'm making this right now in Silencio 40 cents a day. When you take 49,000 tokens I got, divide that up, it's $11 a month. And that's me that has 1 million staked. So people who are coming around here new, what are you making? Honestly, tell me in the comments what you're making, and then also tell me how you want to stick with this project. Because I really think this is just me saying this, but the whole noise pollution thing is done with. And that's why they pivoted so hard to AI. I know what they're saying. They're saying we're doing both. But when's the last time you've seen an update anything about noise pollution, getting noise readings or anything like that? I'm sure they're going to say that they're still involved in it. But hey, if y'all are making decent rewards with this AI thing and spending an hour of your time talking to a computer, congratulations to y'all. I want y'all to be successful. I want y'all to be able to accumulate tokens now. Hopefully in the future, this token goes up in pricing and y'all make out well. Seriously, it's just not for me. All right, we're moving on. DIMO. Y'all remember the good old days back like a month ago or August when everybody thought DIMO was going back? This is that blip right there. August 26th was up to 10 cents. And all y'all thought it was back. Some of y'all rubbed it in my face and all this stuff like that. And I told y'all this was a one-time type thing to try to get people to subscribe and to push some liquidity into it and stuff like that. When you look at where this thing was headed before that, you're just right back on track on that. Again, I know I'm sounding negative and everything, but it's part of me is just trying to get y'all to look at some stuff realistically and not with rose-colored glasses. You're at a lower point now than you were before this gigantic double, almost triple price increase, which then had brought down the rewards again. And here we are, where when you do the math, hey, I mean, you're still getting the same amount of tokens. So apparently there's no more people that aren't subscribing. No more people subscribing. Tokens have stayed about the same. I'm getting 62 tokens on 2 of my vehicles, 57 tokens on 3 of my other vehicles. My staking ends, or we're on the end of the year. When that staking ends, I'm not staking no more. And of course, my rewards will come down a little bit because some of that bonus is from staking. I'm willing to eat that for 35 cents a day. But just like I said, you can see I'm at 35 cents a day right now. But there hasn't been an update on this project in the announcement section, at least, since September 26th. And basically, we're down to, hey guys, my orange got frozen in the back of my fridge. Kelp. That's DIMO. All right, moving right along. In 9th place is Natix. Natix in the past, I was getting my, at the beginning of the month, I would get my rewards for the previous month. Then I would get a day or two later a set of rewards from my first circle driving, which I'm assuming is some people who use my code. Then a couple of days later, I would get another set of first circle driving. Then, like, at least this was what happened in September, I got like a third set of rewards for another ring of drivers. This month, all I got was my normal rewards and one set of drivers. I don't know. But basically, when you take what I made for that month, 12,900 tokens, that now is worth $7.61. Kind of like the other projects that Natix has been kind of holding on. While the chart does look a little more violent, it's only 3% down. It was at 0.0006%. It's at 0.00058%. So, it's still down here swinging. Hey, $106,000 is still being traded on this. 118,000. So there's still some significant volume moving through Natix. I will give it that. Not, you think it would help some, but it's hurting, man. If y'all remember, if y'all on my live, while watching one of my lives, I kind of completely forgot about Natix, even though I do update it. I never looked at my total rewards. And then I looked on here and I had almost $800 worth of Natix. And I was like, holy hell. And of course, like I always do, we got to hold. This was only like 2 or 3 months ago. And now that same amount's like 500, 400, something like that. It's piss poor. I don't know. I'm hoping it recovers. I have a lot of Natix. I've been in it since the beginning during beta, and I'm hoping this price can recover somewhat. I don't know what the project's doing, but we'll see. No real news updates or anything like that. They picked some hodl raffles again. You think all the hodling I do, I'd get picked on this, but I've never gotten an email saying I was getting a $20 gift card or anything like that. No really other big announcements or anything like that. So just keep on sticking your phone in the dashboard. Moving on. Number 10, Honeygain Pawns app. Same old deal. I can't break down exactly what I'm making. I know I have 10 or 12 computers running this, and they all make something different. I know what the dashboard says I make, but I also know what my totals are. And EarnApp is kicking ass. EarnApp, I still will say, in the year of 2025, EarnApp, maybe next to Chirp, but EarnApp's still been my best project. I've claimed since June over $1,000. Actually claimed it, used it, hits my PayPal within a day or two, and I can either move it to my bank, move it to keep it on PayPal, just pay somebody through PayPal or whatever. And it's been a blessing. I won't lie to you. It's helped me a hell of a lot. When times get tough, like I was telling you at the beginning of this video, EarnApp has saved my ass. I'm not gonna sit here and even lie to you. If I can get 2 or 3 more computers on there or pies at friends' houses or at their businesses or something like that, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got actually one more right here. I'm putting at another niece's house, and I'll just give her $20 or something. She won't care. So if y'all want in on EarnApp, I have a code below. It gives y'all a few dollars just to even join and start up. If it gives you a couple more dollars for like every device you add on there. So I would suggest, try out EarnApp. Desktops, you can run it on desktops. I got it running on old computers, basically everything I'm running grass on, but also all the pies I have, or La Potatoes or Rock Pies, anything with like Wingbits DIY devices, any of that stuff, third-party software, EarnApp's just kicking ass. But at least that's for me. I think it also matters what part of the country you're in or what part of the world you're in or how fast your internet is. But for me, it's really working out. All right, moving on. We got Weather XM. I think Weather XM and Helium are holding hands at this point. Weather XM's down 9% since last week. So you're at about 7.5 cents last week. You're about 6.5 cents this week. So you're down a penny. And compared to some other stuff, it's not as bad. You're down 41% in a month. That's bad. You can look at the volume. It's not on KuCoin, so I guess you're not going to get a lot of volume like Natix is getting. But ouch, 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 ouch. 88% down the year. You're 11 cents early, but there's a poll you can take if you want to then figure out what you want for home integrations. That's, as you can see, that's about it. I don't know. I don't want to sound biased because I'm so like high on NUBILA right now, but it just seems NUBILA has more excitement, more momentum behind it. But hey, it just might be because it's going from testnet to mainnet at some point soon, and that happens. And once you're on mainnet, hey, we're on mainnet. Not as much new exciting stuff coming up. I don't know. But we'll see what happens with Weather XM. But 13 cents a day sucks. It just sucks. 13 cents a day. 13 cents. All right, now we're moving on to grass. Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on with grass, dude. Like, this is Sunday coming into Monday, Tuesday. Like, so all my devices were offline. Every single one. Every single one was offline. I haven't looked at the Discord yet, but guys, gals, this I don't know, man. Halloween is when this epoch ends, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if this goes to epoch 13, I think you're gonna see even bigger dumps. I don't think the project gives two. Now, I wish I could curse because I would say two CHITS, two chits about that. I really don't. I don't care that the whole Discord. I don't think they care that the whole Discord is turning on them at this point. They want to sit there and argue with me that it hasn't been a year since they paid, but yet when you just simply look at when this epoch started, that should kind of give you a hint. I'm really hoping they pay it October 31st. I really hope. I can tell you, I'm not staking it. I'm holding on to it for a little while, hoping to see that price go back up, because compared to where it was before, a year ago when we were just getting this token released, we were at 63 cents. So I don't know. I guess that's when it blew up when it was listed on grass. But this is what I'm hoping happens. I mean, I'm hoping it has something like this once this token gets released or awarded, rewards, whatever the hell you want to call it. But for the last 7 days, it's down 25%. So we just free falling. We're bleeding bad right now. down 50% in the month. It's just bad. And I truly, again, I have nothing to back this up. You've had $1 million worth of volume, $6 million in the last. I don't know if I trust this. HTX has $6.8 million of volume. You're telling me HTX Exchange, whatever the hell that is, had more volume than all these other exchanges combined? Okay. Anyway, I just really think that we're on the hope and a prayer right now that we have some type of token release or reward or something at the end of this epoch. I think that sediment, even though you think it can't get no worse, watch what happens if they don't reward at the end of this epoch. So there is something, an announcement saying there's a service interruption temporarily preventing point calculation. I guess they're tied in well at AWS cloud storage problems and stuff like that. So we'll resume calculations as soon as possible. Part of me is wondering, are they planning on, are they trying to hold up rewards waiting on this goofy device that I think is just, they're way too late on? I mean, you have 476,000 people on Discord running double that probably. Is the grasshopper really needed, or is this just another DPIN project trying to do a money grab when they said, hey, you know what? Everybody else is doing it. We can do it too. Let's go sell this device for 10 times what it costs to make. I have not heard any prices on it. If y'all did, let me know. But I'm wondering if they're waiting on this thing to come out. But there's no talk on this at all. At least I found when I've researched, trying to figure out a date that this is coming. All right, moving on to number 13, Helium. Lucky number 13. I actually did more of a deep dive in this. I was kind of guessing that numbers the last week or two. But with the price being as low as it was, I actually went, because all I do is every week or two is I go and claim all my tokens. I refresh them, claim all my tokens. So I really didn't break it down per day what I'm making. What the hell happened to these rewards? I know I sound like a broken record. I know I say this every week. This isn't from halvings. I have 17 stations online, the same amount of stations I had online a year or two ago, minus one that came off my buddy's tower. But in one of my general towns, 14 out of 17 stations belong to me. They're all still online. Getting same amount of witnesses that we get before. We're getting like 0.04, 0.06, 0.08 HNT a day. A freaking day. Like that's, we were still getting more than triple that when we had 900,000. Like that's just stupid. That's crazy stupid. Like it's almost like they just have wrung out the rewards and just killed it. Try to push it to the mobile side. I don't know. Y'all tell me what the hell's going on. But basically, you're at 4 cents a day right now. So people who are telling me, or who I see talking about, they're still buying these things off eBay. God bless you. Like, you got way more bigger balls than I got. And actually, it looks like prices come down even more since I updated it earlier today when I was working on my spreadsheet. So you're still free falling in this one. You're down 17% in the week. You were at 222. You're down $1.84 right now. You're down 26% in the month. Listen, I know we talk about Helium going back up to $10 and $12 and $20. I think this is more than just market sentiment right now, like we see with all of crypto. This is something more than that. The Helium team shifts towards open market back to a new digital asset treasury, exploring market and the OTC acquisition strategy has led to a slight price rise. Who you kidding? Is this an AI article? It's smoking crack, dude. Like who writes this? How do you look at this for the last 7 days and tell me 9 hours ago, you put that this has caused price rise. You're down 5%. Maybe earlier today, you went from $1.94 to $1.97, depending on when this came out. Come on, man. Helium, I think, is done. All right, moving on, because I don't feel good. Our testnet projects, Wingbits. No news really out the Wingbits team right now. They're just chugging along. You know, there's a lot of different sentiment out there. I kind of fall into both camps. I'm not going to sit here and try to lie to y'all and say something different on camera that I haven't said on Discord. I'm kind of in both camps. Listen, I understand both sides of this. Yes, there's a part of me that says I have no problem with us being a testnet right now, because every day you're in testnet, you are receiving 20% bonuses on your devices online. So in my case, I have 15. Oh, no, I don't. I have 14 stations online because my WB200 failed. So my 14 stations online, I'm making 20% bonus. But this is where my confusion comes in. I know I don't feel well. I know that sometimes my wife reminds me I only listen to half of conversations. But I also remember about there being some type of bonus once it goes mainnet. You're getting a bonus while something's online, while that device is online? Or was that only during this period right now while it's online? That might be what it is. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask them guys that. I'm confusing myself at this point. But anyway, look. But I know you're starting to see more and more chatter in the Discords and stuff about, you know, this thing needs to start going to TGE mainnet. We've been saying this for this while. Oh, it's never going to TGE mainnet. Other projects have said stuff like this and look like they had a good team. And look, I'm telling y'all right now to put that stuff away. I understand some of y'all, nobody wants to go TGE more than me. Nobody does. I can tell you that right now. I have a lot of money tied up in this. I have reputation. I have all this stuff like that. Not to give really, you know, that's not the end of the world. But my point is, just try to be patient a little bit more. I have to tell myself that in the mirror too sometimes. I have to remind myself that I'm making 20% bonus on 14 stations right now. Hey, I will give it to credit where credit is due. I put in my ticket with the team. They got to it right away when I told them that my WB200 had the LNA failure. Gave me a code immediately almost within a few hours. And I then reached out to HiFix, followed their instructions, and within 24 hours, they took that code and supposedly turned around and were sending me a UPS, a new WB200 via UPS. And while I am forever thankful that they got to it as fast, it had supposedly had shipped Friday. However, me being as anal as I was, even though I was busy, I was watching my UPS label. It did not start moving until about an hour or two ago from California. They have shipped it snail mail on horseback through the old Pony Express, because even though it's coming from California, it's being shipped not UPS ground, but UPS select or something. And it's not supposed to be here for another 8 days. 8 days from California. So y'all know me. While I should be like thankful to everybody who helped, I have to find a negative in something. It shouldn't take 8 days in today's world. Maybe come sooner. Maybe come sooner. I'll be watching that tracker and seeing what's happening. Maybe it shows up in 3 to 4 days like it normally does if I ship something to California or California to me. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just that, you know, the longer that's a device offline, it's 200 wings a day I'm losing right now. 200 plus my bonus. All right, moving on. I know I'm getting sick. I'm getting cranky. I'm getting worse. 375 AI. Are y'all ready for testnet? Testnet's coming. It's right around the corner. You know, I know I'm seriously aging myself here, but For y'all youngsters, there used to be a cartoon called the Peanuts. And every time Charlie Brown or whoever it was thought he was going to kick the football, Lucy would pull the ball out the way. He got so excited because he thought it was time to kick the ball again, and she pulled it away. I didn't realize at 5 and 6 years old what kind of life story that was, but it prepared me for 375 AI and some of these other projects that made it seem like TGE is right around the corner. And I'm not even talking about Wingbits. I'm talking about like this one that came out and said back in August, we were minutes away from TGE. Like we were this close. And then this one that also had us they did a snapshot of our wallets 2 weeks ago because TGE and mainnet was coming and all this stuff like that. And these pre-sale tokens. And then now they oversold the tokens. But y'all ready? Because it's coming. I mean, it's like right around the corner. They got 2 pools here. When 375 goes mainnet, would you prefer that your hex count goes to 0 or continue with the, that's actually continues with the current count. Pretty close vote, actually. The poll did close. I just saw this. But looks like it resets to 0. But again, it's like, here we go with teasing with this mainnet thing, but there's no news on it, you know? Come on, man. So who knows? Coming soon, guys. Minutes away. Next is going to be Combinder. Same thing I tell y'all every time. I'm lazy. I'm not lazy. I'm busy. I'm too busy to go and deal with that Telegram. One of y'all can be my special grumpy reporters. Y'all go comb through that craziness of Telegram on Combinder and come report back to me on what the hell they talking about, because I'm not going through all that. I don't like it. You barely press something and it selects something. Like, y'all come into the 2018s and get into Discord, please. Please. So I don't know what's going on with it, but they could be reaching out to me. I don't know. If anybody knows anything about Combinder, leave it in the messages below. BrushO is the same thing. No Discord, nothing really. I just know I'm brushing my teeth twice a day, it actually just notified me while I was doing this that I got 110 oral tokens. Can't see it. Yay me. Don't know anything else going on. Maybe one day I need to sit down and just have a drink and then go through Telegram and see what I'm missing out on. If anybody knows anything about the BrushO, let me know. I still think it's a cool project. I'll argue with anybody. Some of these projects were complete money grabs as far as their devices. Anybody says that about BrushO, I will argue with you all day. I know there's a certain person that put theirs out saying BrushO was part of these. You could get a toothbrush way cheaper than Amazon. I'll argue that all day. Yes, you can get a cheap ass, no name, or maybe halfway decent toothbrush, but your good quality toothbrushes are in the hundreds, and some even more than BrushO. I don't call that a money grab. So, and then you get rewards back. I call a money grab when a certain project's taking a plastic 3D case, 3D print, putting a ESP32 project in it, or ESP32 board in it with a microphone, and selling that for $300 to $500. That's a money grab. It cost them $23 to make it, and they're selling it for $323. That's money grab, not BrushO. So I like BrushO. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm hoping they're at Mining Disrupt. I don't know what kind of projects, deep in projects will be at Mining Disrupt, but it's, I'm hoping I can meet some of these people. NUBILA, y'all know I'm real big on NUBILA. I just moved my NUBILA station to its permanent home by Lake Pontchartrain, which is at my friend's restaurant. He has that tall pole. Thought I took a picture of it. I don't know. If I did, I'll post it right now. And if you didn't see a picture, that means I can't find a picture. I don't know what's going on with NUBILA. As far as anything more than that, for the nodes, I really haven't. Again, like I told y'all, I haven't had that much chance to look, but I'm trying to catch up on all this stuff for you guys. I know this is piss poor of me, but again, I just feel like a truck hit me and I feel bad. I just want to go take a shower at this point and go to bed. So that's it for this week. Again, depending on how I feel tomorrow, today's Monday. When y'all watching this video, it's probably going to be Tuesday. So this evening I should have a live, depending on how I feel. Shoulder. Depending on how I feel. Thursday, I'll have a live also. I'm trying to keep up with videos every day. I know I screwed up the algorithm by not putting out videos Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I did do a short on Saturday from the fair showing all the food and why we can't lose weight down here when you see all the food and fried everything that we had. But there was some good food there. I'm not going to lie to you. My plan was to start hitting the gym again today and start doing back to doing my 2 or 3 miles every night like I've been doing. And I'm not doing that tonight. Hoping I feel better. If not, I'll go run to the doctor and get a shot. But I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the support. Again, I know this video was kind of fast and I didn't really get that deep into it. Some stuff just doesn't have updates. I don't know if it's because of the price drop. And hopefully we get some recovery in this pricing soon. Or, you know, I won't be able to afford shoelaces for my hunting boots to go hunting. But gotta hold on, keep the faith, be patient with these TGE main nets. I still say, listen, I understand how y'all feel about Wingbits. Again, just be patient. I think it's going to be worthwhile. Very professional team doing a lot, and I think we're going to be okay with Wingbits. Y'all know that's my #1 project right now, and even though I got to remind myself sometimes, you know, keep the faith. Maybe we'll shock collar every time. Oh, God, that hurts. All right, guys. I know y'all can hear me. I sound like hell. But appreciate it. Thank y'all for all support. Thank y'all for the people who are keeping up with my Discord while I was gone and answering different questions for people, helping out. Again, if y'all aren't in my Discord, y'all missing out on some good stuff, some good alpha from people in there. So thank y'all. See y'all next video.